Man, we are back. Welcome to the Gray Space. I'm Zeke. That is Dre.
Yepers.
We got another fire one for you guys this week.
Yes. But y'all know what to do before we get into this thing. Make sure you subscribe to become part of the tribe. Do us right. Hit that like and comment because you are rocking with the content. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, leave a 5-star review for your boys. We really appreciate all the watchers and listeners of the Gray Space. And now. Yep.
And you know what, man? We got to shout out our listeners, bro. We do this, we're doing this end of the year recap of the Gray Space, and we're going to talk about all the guests that we have on. But you know what? Shout out to the listeners out there, man. Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you're getting it from, man. That's where everybody's listening. Most people listen to our show. We love it. Thank you for it. You don't have to watch us. That's fine. You know, you don't want to see these pretty faces. That's okay.
Right.
You just want to hear these sexy voices. And I know what sexy voice you really want to hear. And that's my boy Dre over there. Because he got the sexy, deep voice that you want and what you need.
Now, we just had a conversation yesterday about, you said,
there was nothing wrong about what I just said. It is all factual.
All right.
But yeah, man, look, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about our year as the Gray Space, the podcast. We had some great guests. We did obviously a lot of just you and me again this year, which we will continue again for next year. We're going to dive deep into some more deeper topics. We're going to do more top fives because you guys are rocking with the top fives.
For sure.
So we got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff cooking. And yeah, man, let's dive into our interviews in particular this year, bro.
So, I mean, this year, man, was amazing for us as we continue to build with people in the city and outside of the city. And it really propelled us, man. You know what I'm saying? And we had some amazing guests this year, some of which are going to be circling back. But man, it really started at the top of the year. You know what I'm saying? When we got two legends in AZ, man, two legends, period, man. When we got Buki and Yo Westwood, right. You know what I'm saying? To start out the year, man. And two guys that I 100% have a lot of love and respect for, man. And you know, I listened to these cats, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger, you know, and so to sit down and chop it up with them about just their lives and hip hop and their origin story. You know, we're big fans of the origin story, and it was just tremendous, man. Like that really started the year off in a tremendous way, man. So shout out to Book.
It did, man. It was a crazy start, and we do apologize because I'm not sure we publicly did that or not to our audio listeners and the people who watched it. We did have audio issues in that particular episode.
Yeah, we had some audio interference.
And so we had to, you know, use the camera audios, which are recording, but they're not as good as obviously the mics, you know. So, but thank God we had a backup because, you know, we can be like disappointed in the sense of audio being bad, but at least it captured so you can hear what everything that was going on, because that was a great way to start off the year of interviews.
So then, you know, the next one, man, it kept it rolling, man. We had our girl, man, Lexi Mashan, and
man, fantastic, bro, fantastic. Plus, she's up for a lot of Arizona Mixtape Awards. So yeah, shout out to her. I hope she wins some of those, man, and a couple more that are, you know, that we have coming up too that are, you know, like Miss Veen and stuff. We'll get there in a minute, but I mean, there was quite a few people that are, you know, nominated. But again, if you want just a fantastic young lady, man, like just doing her thing, the what she raps about, you know, more on the I wouldn't even say really positive, but it is kind of positive, just more like thinking, you know, about the way songs are constructed and,
Right.
and getting a message across that's meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, she really nailed that, and she talked about that, and just fantastic interview, man.
And I thought what was dope, man, with Lexi, bro, was like, you know, that was early on in the year when we got that interview.
Yeah.
And to see her grow throughout the year, you know what I'm saying? And really recently, like she's been doing a lot of like collaborations with other artists, which is I love, you know what I'm saying? Like she's finally starting to get the recognition that she deserves as a female artist out here.
For sure.
I think she caught a lot of flack early, but she persevered through it. She stuck to her guns, you know what I'm saying? And she's still creating the music that she wants to create, and I thought that was beautiful, man. So shout out to Lexi Michon, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. Then after that,
Man, we kept it going with the female energy.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I'm
did.
saying? We kept it going with the female energy, man. We had another OG, YG OG. You know what I'm saying? Miss Pretty Kitty, if you nasty, Miss Veen.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, shout out to Miss Veen. This was my first time meeting her in person, but I had known her music for a while and had seen her throughout the scene or whatever. And Miss Veen was like a person that, you know, not that you have any type of expectance, but if you did, it was right out the gate. Like it was like we had known each other, man. Like she came in with just high energy, great energy. You know, knew what we were all about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just dope out the gate. You know what I'm saying? And her story was amazing too, bro. So shout out to Miss Veen.
yeah,
bro.
you know, the other thing too, man, with Lexi and with, you know, Miss Veen, you know, they kind of put a focus on, you know, motivating young women, man. And I really did like that, hearing from both of them, and particularly Miss Veen, you know, going in and just chopping it up about that. You know, it's good to see, man, like that, you know, you might have beef with somebody, but you really trying to do your thing and trying to, you know, just be motivational, and especially to young women, man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And it's just nice to hear. So, yeah, Miss Veen, shout out, dude, for sure.
My bad. I had a string hanging on. It was
You're
irritating me,
good.
bro.
You're good,
For all the people watching, they like, what is he doing
Yeah,
over there,
right?
man? Then, man, it kept it rolling, man. We had our guy, man, who had been recommended to us, man, by multiple people, man. Shout out to LP, shout out to Miranda, shout out to Mega Ran, shout out to the whole squad, man. Blaze Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to find out he in SoCal, Arizona as well. So, you know, it wasn't a long way for him to drive to pull up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And another person, another entity that came in here and was like, hey man, like, felt like we knew each other for a while. We talked a lot before the podcast, talked a ton after the podcast. And just a super dope individual. And I will tease a little something, man. You know what I mean? I might have a major announcement.
Stick around to the end, because we got an announcement.
Yeah, I got my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it might or might not involve Blaze Rock. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Blaze Rock, man, shout out to you, man. Like that was just a fire interview that we did, man. And you know, again, I like talking to both like demographics of people that are younger, that are in the game, you know, just getting their start, and then some of the older cast, man, that are doing their thing, and kind of the differences, you know, that you had to go through. And I kind of resonate, obviously, with the older crowd, you know what I mean? Because I remember those days, the CDs, you know, just slanging, you know, as you're at a show, man, buy my CD, or, you know, here's a free CD, you know what I mean? Just check out my stuff, man, rock with me, you know what I mean? So, again, man, it just so cool to hear people that have been in the game for a while and their stories and stuff, and Blaze Rock was one of them, man.
For sure, man. So then, man, you know what I'm saying? We had a couple with Just Us, but then we had been recommended through a couple people for this young woman to come through, and voice is just tremendous, right? Just great R&B singer, but you know what was dope is where the interview actually went, some of the other stuff that she's involved in. We had our girl Shell, man, and you know, again, I think we've said this before to all the listeners and everybody watching, but you don't really know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? You might have an idea, but you know, just like with anything, when it's your first time meeting somebody, and when you're actually sitting down to kind of talk about their lives and things that they're doing, and so there was just some stuff that we didn't know.
Oh, bro.
And you start going into the astrology. But it was dope.
I don't want to spoil it because I think you guys need to go listen or watch this, man.
For sure.
And especially towards the end, the last 20 minutes or so.
Right.
Very flipped the coin, basically. It went from heads to tails in a hurry. And not a bad way, just very interesting, man. We were like, oh, you do that?
Right.
Okay, cool. Dope. Awesome. So again, just one of those ones, man, where you just don't know where a conversation's going to go. And then it kind of, you're like, oh, I like this, man. This is interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
And then after that, man, Jarmel Reese, bro.
Shout out to my St. Louis boy, man. St. Louis in the house, man. Shout out to Jarmel Reese, man. Super dope individual, business owner. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur, spiritual, real spiritual guy. You know what I'm saying? And we were actually supposed to jump on his podcast. He was out here. It was a last minute thing. We weren't able to do it. So Jarmel, next time you pull through the city, whatever you need us to jump on the podcast with you, man. Just let us know a little ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of stuff going on.
For sure.
But shout out to Jarmel, man. His message is great. His clothing line is dope. You know what I'm saying? He's got his own shoes, own clothing, and he's got a dope podcast, man, where he's talking about the community and spiritual healing and stuff like that. And so I've watched quite a few episodes. And super dope individual, man. Shout out to Jarmel Reese. And shout out to St. Louis, baby.
Yeah, man. Then after that, we had my guy, Matt Luciani.
Loach.
Yeah, man. This was a great episode. It was my most nerve-wracking one of the year. You typically don't get nervous when we shoot these, but I was for this one, and I don't know why, because I've known the dude for 30 years, so it's like I should be common, like just talking. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking to you. But it was because he's not really on social medias, and I actually did learn a lot of stuff about it. Because our friendship, I know what he does for work, but I didn't know what he did for work. You know what I mean? And just finding that out, and then obviously. You had some great questions about our past and stuff like that. So you want to hear a little bit about my past, man, go watch that episode in particular towards the end of that one as well, because we dove into some of the stuff that we went through as kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I thought what was dope about that, man, was not only his knowledge in like the financial world, but then also as somebody that's been your brother for so long to meet somebody else who's been your brother for longer, and hear some of those wilds. The concert story was crazy.
Yep.
The car story was hilarious. So if you guys missed out on that one just because it wasn't like somebody that was a super prominent, doing entertainment or whatever, please go check that out with Matt Luciani, man, because that was a tremendous episode. You'll get to know a little bit more about our guy Zeke over here.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So
things were revealed. Yes. After that, man, we had Tamik, man, that came through.
Tamik, yeah,
bro, and just a phenomenal man. And I would say this one in particular kind of hit home because he talked a lot about family and his mom, and and the back and forth between here and Cleveland and that kind of stuff. And again, it's one of those things, man. This was another one that kind of threw us off a little bit, and again, not in a bad way, just you just don't know, right, of how a conversation is going to go. And this one was very family oriented,
100%,
and it was awesome to hear and talking about family and the struggles of moving parents or something back and forth, and all that kind of stuff, and the love that you have for a parent or guardian, whatever it is, you can relate in some sort of way. So it was just a beautiful thing to kind of talk to him about some of that stuff.
For sure, and obviously his entrepreneurship and
for sure,
him being involved with the club scene, but the music as well, and it's super dope to see a brother that's multi-talented, multifaceted in what they're doing. So, man, shout out to Tamik, bro.
I gotta let you introduce this one because this was fire, bro. Yeah,
this was a guy that what I'm saying. Back in the early days of the Gray Space, we used to do the reviews actually during the show, at the end of the show, and then we transitioned to doing the reviews outside of it, and then we merged it with What You Heard, man, and we had a guy, man, in the early stages, man. Hey, man, I see y'all doing reviews, man. Can you do art? Can you do my album?
Yeah, man.
And we said, well, okay, we checked it out. Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So we just stayed, we stayed tapped in.
Yeah,
with
we
him.
did. We stayed tapped in for sure.
And then he dropped another project, Dinner at Lonely's.
Yes.
And he said, hey, man, new project. And I said, man, let's do one better. Let's do an interview, bruh. My East Coast peoples, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My guy, Kai 45.
Yeah, man.
This was
very interesting because, you know,
it was
like
a Zoom. It was Zoom. We had like a Zoom.
Yeah, but it was an instant like connection, like we've known him forever. You know what I mean? Like as long as we've known each other, it seems like
this is our first time
ever. Like, yeah, we've communicated
outside of like
Instagram DMs and stuff.
Or whatever,
you know what I mean? But like actually talking face to face with somebody,
right?
Very interesting how you get connections like that, and then it all of a sudden, man, it's like, man, I've known you forever.
So many jokes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, man. It was just so fun. It was fun, man. It was so fun to do. Obviously, he's such a talented musician, to be quite honest with you, bro. Not just him writing and rapping, but also the producing that he does and stuff like that. Just a beautifully talented human being, man. And getting to know him, that he's all the way on the other side of the country. You know, it just awesome. I mean, and it makes me want to go visit,
For sure.
And if, man, you ever come down here, man, we sitting down, we're probably sitting down for hours, bro.
For sure.
You know
sure.
what I mean?
But we know he's not going to pull up during the summer.
Oh.
he said it gets like that?
Right, yeah.
That's right. Sweltering.
Yeah.
So,
there was some great
check
moments.
that out. Go
great
check that out if you
there.
guys haven't checked that out, man.
For sure.
Then our next one, man, was basically an alley-oop from our guy TJ Soup, man. Shout out to Soup, who just recently celebrated, I think, 15 years.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to Soup. We weren't able to make it, just too much stuff going on. It's the holidays, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Soup. But he shot us this one, man. This great woman, Keisha, massage therapist. Also entrepreneur, starting to put together a lot of events in the city. More on the grown and sexy tip. And I thought that was kind of a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Like, nothing wrong with the younger generation. I love everything that they're doing. But, as we climb the hill a little bit, we still like to get funky and get down, you know what I'm saying? And so, she definitely talked about a lot of that. So shout out to Miss Keisha, man. It was a dope interview.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then obviously, man, I had some sort of connection just because she does massage therapy and, my mom and dad back in the day used to do that. So we had a nice little conversation about, the massage therapy part of it. And I can relate just from the stories that my mom and dad used to tell and stuff like that. So great interview, man. It was a really good one.
For sure.
After that, we had Arian Nicole.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Arian Nicole
from
man.
Grassroots Bookstore.
Shout
man.
out to the sis, yeah.
And we've said it on numerous podcasts, even with them not sitting here because we had her husband later, which we'll get there in a second. But Arian Nicole, shout out to you and your husband, man, for creating a bookstore that is just one of the vibiest places I've ever been into.
100%.
And then them doing their events that they do, them being activists in the community, and just there's so much stuff, man, like that they do besides the bookstore, man, and especially the community work and stuff like that. Just amazing stuff.
Yeah, and especially with, not only that, but, her kind of origin story in the hip hop and then how she got into her religion. And it's just a beautiful thing, right? And so when she was able to sit down and talk about, some of the plights that Black people have to deal with, some of the plights that her religion has to deal with, right? And I thought it was beautiful, man. And another entrepreneur, but really what she's doing in the community, along with her husband, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, is just tremendous, man. So shout out to Arian Nicole. Who we got next? Oh,
Big Sip, man. We got Big Sip, man. We got Johnny Spears.
Spears, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Johnny Spears. One of our guys, Anthony Freeman, and a couple other people as well were like, man, you gotta sit down with him.
Oh yeah,
he's
man.
a great dude.
Mm-hmm.
Fire hip hop artist, young guy. And what was crazy is that, you know, his music is very, very high energy. You know what I'm saying? But he came through more on like the cool, calm, and collective.
Dude, his
but it was still dope.
His energy when he came and talked to us was fascinating to just witness, right? And it's not taken away from anybody else, but like it's just he had the, again, to what you just said, cool, calm, and collected, right? Sitting in front of two strangers in just kind of this even keel of awesomeness that this guy exudes from him. You know what I mean? So just a fantastic interview from this young man. I can't wait to talk to him in the future.
Yeah, shout out to Big Sip, and I think we're definitely going to be trying to collab more outside of, you know, the gray space and stuff like that with Big Sip. So, yeah, shout out to Big Sip and shout out to Johnny Spears, man.
Yep. Next one is DJ HMD.
Yeah, this was dope. This one
caught me off guard as well, bro.
Super caught me off guard because he reached out to us, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and I'm glad he did, because I had been watching some of the stuff he was doing from afar with some of the local artists and other artists as well. Shout out to Oregon, you know what I'm saying? You know, Northwest guy. And yeah, super, super chill guy. That's like, he's one of those guys who's just doing a lot.
Right. Super entrepreneurial. But you know what I mean?
It's just so like, yeah, you know,
I'm doing this. Yeah, I got this going.
Yeah, I'm going.
Sure.
I'm going on tour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing it.
He definitely has the West Coast vibe to him.
It's that
sure.
Northwest, though. Yeah, he's got that Northwest, like it's always raining outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I always got a hoodie on, so I gotta just relax.
Because he had a hoodie on. It was September. In September here in the desert,
it was still a little toast.
It was a little toasty, bro.
For sure. So shout out to DJ HMD.
For sure, man.
And you know what, man? He actually hit me up during the holidays, during Thanksgiving. I've stayed in contact with him. So another guy that, you know, we've built a relationship outside of just having an interview. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's always dope.
Yeah. Then after that, man, this one was crazy.
Yeah.
Brother Tremikas.
Man.
With this one, so Erin Nicole, this is her husband. And Grassroots Bookstore again. But I can't really describe this one that well, but it was really good. And it was very inspirational.
Surreal.
The stories he was telling, please listen to it or watch this one.
We'll do you no justice by saying what he was talking about, you know, specifically, but he really, really, really changed our day that day.
For sure.
And quite possibly changed our life in some perspective. Like, to sit there and for him to talk about some of the stuff that he went through, getting the origin story, but then him still fighting and still making sure that he's trying to do for the community.
And wrote a book. About, please, just do us a favor and like, if you want something like spiritual,
for sure, this
is the one for anybody out there.
And Brother Tremikas, I'm forever, man, have gratitude, gratuitous towards you, man, and I appreciate you, brother, and I thank you for everything that you provide for the community, man. So thank you, Brother Tremikas, and hopefully we'll link up soon. And shout out to the Grassroots Bookstore,
for sure. Then we had our guy we went to school with. We were doing music, man. We had Elon Osborne,
one of the smartest guys on the planet.
And he has his own YouTube channel. We talked all that kind of stuff, man. You know what he said about being the smartest dude. He said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, yeah.
I might have been the smartest dude, but
he said, "I got all them good grades. You know what it got me? Absolutely fucking nothing." So, shout out to Elon Osborne, man. He's got a great channel. He's a super smart, super funny.
If you're into like speakers and home audio,
yes. Yeah. Or if you're not necessarily into it, but you're trying to get some pieces for your house and you don't really know which way to go.
That's for sure.
He dumbs all the specs down so you can figure it out for yourself.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's in the house with you, telling you how to set it up, but he's on your YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Then we kept it going, man, with our guy, man, who's doing some great things out here, Shaka Shabazz.
Yeah.
He has 2 YouTube channels, podcasts. He's got African American Made, where he showcases Black-owned businesses throughout the city, and I think he's definitely looking to expand that as well. And what I love about what that show provides is a glimpse into some of the not popular businesses.
Right.
You got guys doing flooring, boutiques, you know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily what we would normally see, like with the clothing line, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But it showcases that Black people can be owners in everything, right? And you can still be successful without having to do what the norm is, right? And so I love that. It's almost like a Vlad TV style where he's behind the camera, right? And he asks the questions like that. And I love that as well. And then he has the Rayshawn and Shaka podcast, man, where, you know what I'm saying? It's a little less wholesome over there. You know what I mean? It gets a little greasy over there. You know what I mean? And, the way those two go back and forth, we definitely want to have, Rayshawn, come through as well. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning or sometime next year. You know what I mean? And
for sure.
Kind of have that perspective, but
that'll definitely be happening.
There was a little mix up on the scheduling or whatever, man. He came through with the donuts. We weren't able to partake, you know what I'm saying? But next time we hook up, Shaka, man, we'll pull up with the donuts, man. We got you, bro.
Shaka, man, shout out to you, man, for what you're doing, just in the community, but his story as well, man, of talking about the businesses but his take on all of that was very interesting, very fascinating. Please check that one out as well, man, if you're interested in any Black-owned businesses and his take on that as well. And check out his show too, man. It's a really well done show.
Yeah, check out both of them, man.
Yeah,
shout out to Shaka Shabazz. Then we have our guy, man.
Our guy, man.
I joked about it when we had him on the show. He's social media flirting.
Yeah.
I kept liking a bunch of stuff, his content that he was putting out. He kept liking a bunch of the Gray Space content. You know what I'm saying? Fire emojis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. And I said, hey, man, you got to just come on. You got to come through the show, man.
Right.
I want to talk about your podcast and talk about another,
what's his name?
Freed. Did I not say it?
You didn't say
my
it.
bad. You're like, what the hell y'all talking about? Shout out to my guy, Freed. He's on season 2 of The Art of Being Freed.
Yeah, man.
And he's now getting guests on there, which is amazing. But if you ever want any type of motivational stuff, and I know everybody's doing, but I love the way that Freed talks about stuff and just easy little sayings and stuff to get you going.
And his art is fire, bro.
And on top of that, he is an amazing artist.
Dude, his art
has worked with
crazy.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He's not no slouch when it comes to the art. And so
doing his thing, man, this year in particular, and we got one more, and that will be Anthony Freeman, man. It's who we rounded it out.
Guy.
And great, just a great guy who we ended last year with basically as well.
I think this is gonna have to be
I think it might be right.
Yeah, he's got to be the last one of these for sure.
Charitable works, and Anthony Freeman, man, just dope. But just across the board, man, I guess shout out to everybody because everybody had something inspirational, right? And something that you can grab and take from and kind of put it into perspective of your own life in some sort of way, right? There can be parallels without it being parallel. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's why we do this show. Is you talk to these people, you bring them these people. Yeah, it's fun to have people that are famous and stuff like that are fantastic to do, but it's also nice to have people that are the Anthony Freemans of the world, right? That are super behind the scenes and help out the kids and the elderly and, getting, socks and underwear and stuff for the community.
Real nonprofit.
Real nonprofit stuff. And it's just amazing to sit down. I wish everybody could kind of be here with us in a sense.
Be a fly on the wall for sure.
Because and I think it comes across, obviously very well with both audio and with the video, but it is something special. I will have to say, that to sit here with these people and to get, because you really feel their energy, you know what I mean? And you get the nervousness, you get the, you get all that, all those emotions, and then it kind of all just kind of comes together, into this beautiful thing as you keep on talking to these people, man. And I wouldn't trade this man for the world. To be honest
man,
with you,
like
bro.
what the stuff that we're able to do, the conversations and the relationships that we built over the last, 2 years, but especially this past year has been amazing. These are people that a lot of these people are going to be circling back for round 2 next year. You know what I'm saying? Just because the love is really there, and they're doing some amazing things that are coming up. I mean, I could tell you for sure, she's going to be top of the year at some point. She's got some stuff that she's working on that, we'll let her talk about that when she gets here. Richie Evans, we've talked to him. He's pulling back up. I know we didn't talk about him this year, but he's coming back through. Megan Rand's going to circle back. He was one of our early ones. So we're able, we genuinely, we stay authentic. You know what I'm saying, to who we are. We're not looking for the clickbait. We're not looking for some of the more popular takes. And there's nothing wrong with people that do that. That's your jive. You know what I'm saying? But we love to get the origin stories.
Right.
And through that, we have created and built strong connections. You know what I'm saying, that are manifesting into better relationships and hopefully better things down the road. And so there's definitely some stuff in the works. We're going to be outside more next year for sure. We might be mobile with some of these episodes. You know what I'm saying? We might be hitting the road. We
were already cooking up some stuff.
We cooking up some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going to take a little break, obviously for Christmas and New Year's, a little break in here, but we'll be right back at it. We're already, again, you're constantly working. Even when you take a break, man, you're still thinking about things and
we're already setting up January and February right now.
Right. Of course. Got to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got to stay ahead of the game. And what's the tease, man? You were teasing us earlier.
Yeah, man.
What's the tease, bro?
So we're I love to talk sports. We've talked sports on this show.
Talking sports, bro.
A few times, but like you pull up to the crib, I got sports on the TV. I probably got sports on the phone. If it's not Sports Center, there's some type of game playing. Doesn't matter what game it is. You know what I'm saying? It could be hockey. You know what I mean? So I love to talk sports, and even though you are well versed enough to get down with a conversation, you had said, "Hey, man, I need somebody else to sit in this chair across from you." And so, man, I was thinking about, man, who do I know that could really, bring that perspective? I said, hey, man, Blaze Rock knows a little bit about sports. You know what I'm saying? We talked a lot of sports when he was here. So I hit him up on the text and said, hey, man, I got this idea for a show. You want to do it with me? Like, you know what I mean? Like a little kid, like, hey, you want to go outside and play? I mean, and he was like, brother, I would love to. So definitely confirmed it with him.
So we're going to add a sports show.
We're going to add a sports show. We're going to start out once per week at the beginning of the year. We're going to have our takes, opinions. We're going to use a little bit of what I would like to call the analytics meets the eye test meets. We're going to bring up some stuff that's not narrative driven, like the ESPNs of the world and the Foxes of the world. No, shout out to them. I watch them. But I'm just saying a lot of times they have narratives that they try to go with. We're not bringing the narratives. We bringing the truth. You know what I'm saying? We laying the law down. That's a hint. We laying the law down. That's a hint. That's a major hint. Okay.
Oh, okay. You're not going to give away what it's called, though.
No, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't, because if I do, they might be above the law. That's another hint. That's another hint. So, you know what I'm saying? We laying the law down on sports.
Yeah.
Next year, me and Blaze Rock, he's going to bring through his boxing knowledge. Yeah. I'm going to bring through my extensive football knowledge. We're going to talk about everything under the sun. Yeah. And it's going to be a fire show. I hope so. You guys make sure you tune in. We're going to get through the quirks. The first couple episodes, we got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all can let Shannon Sharp and all them figure it out, man, we just some regular dudes. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to rock with us.
I'm looking forward to it, even though I'm not going to be on it. That's why I'm looking forward to it.
But you know what? Zeke might be behind the scenes. He might be the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I'll for sure be.
He'll be fact checking.
Back over here somewhere.
Yeah, he'll be fact checking. Like, he fact checked how many yards did he have that game? You know what I mean?
Shoot. So, yeah, man, you know what? I'm going to say it one more time before we get out of here. We really do appreciate y'all. This has been a great year for the Gray Space. Thank you for 100%. All the follows, all the likes, all the hate as well. Yeah. Bring it on. Yeah, the subscriptions, everything.
Comments, all that.
Everything. We really do appreciate it because this has been a crazy year for us. It's been our biggest growth so far. Mm-hmm. And we really can't, obviously, man, we do it for ourselves, but we also do it for you guys. And we're glad you guys enjoy the content that we're creating.
For sure.
So more podcasts, more What You Heards are coming, a new sports show on the way. Bro, we just gonna keep rolling.
We're gonna keep rocking, bro.
And we love y'all. You guys stay safe, you guys stay positive out there.
And as always, this is the Gray Space. Peace.